The Office Expert.
Thanks for joining us here at the Weather Network. I'm Emily Vukovic. We are in Storm Watch on your Friday. Yeah, it was a messy day yesterday, and it's going to be a fairly messy morning as well. We've got Rachel Schutzen joining us for traffic this morning, so welcome her back to the show, and she's bringing her expertise to give you a little hand on the road today. Now, travel advisories, they've been dropped throughout the GTA, so that's good news. Conditions are only going to be improving, fingers crossed. The snowfall amounts as of midnight, about 6 centimeters for Toronto. Pearson looking at about 11 centimeters. Hamilton 14. So some areas certainly seeing more snow than others. And throughout the day today, we are going to be seeing messy conditions. We've got a rain-snow mix, especially along the lakeshore. The higher elevations you go, of course, your temperatures will be just slightly cooler potentially. So you are going to be seeing more snow than mixing. And then this is going to continue to be a bit of a mess. Now, I'm going to turn things over to Rachel because she has got a good update on today's traffic.
Yeah, and you know, Emily, last night it was just terrible driving home for so many people. And now this morning we're looking at scenes like this. Chaos already out there on the 401 roads. People commented a drive that takes them 20 minutes yesterday took them over an hour. There was about 340 collisions in just 4 hours last night. So not a good night to be out on the roads.
And that was just reported by the OPP. I mean, there are certainly other sources that would have been reporting accidents as well. So again, take it easy this morning. We've got this snow eventually going to be moving out around midday for the city of Toronto, but then we're going to start to see that wraparound lake effect with those northwesterly winds throughout the day tomorrow. So we could see a little bit more accumulation with that front coming through. The winds, not a huge issue today. Along the shores of Huron and Georgian Bay, gusts up to about 60 kilometers an hour. And then the next system that I want you to pay attention to is what's going to be we're dealing with over the weekend. So here's the system that's departing throughout the day today. It's going to hammer Atlantic Canada yet again. So situation could be worse for us. We're thinking, 15 centimeters of snow. Newfoundland has over a foot. The wraparound is going to be impacting us throughout the day tomorrow. You can see a little bit of mixed precipitation. Temperatures are going to stay cold. We've got that Arctic blast continuing to hold on through parts of southern Ontario. So we do have some light snow in the forecast. Could be tricky driving conditions again tomorrow. Stay tuned. Your locals start now. Good morning. Your Storm Watch coverage continues. It's Friday, and it is a messy start to the day out there. We've got conditions hovering around the freezing mark. We are seeing a little bit of fog, a little bit of mist. This afternoon, we're expected to see a daytime high of 2 degrees. So we do have that potential to see a little bit of mixing, especially along the lakeshore. Now for this afternoon, temperatures hovering just above that freezing mark. So we're looking at 2 degrees for the city of Toronto. Again, a little bit of mixing is going to be in the forecast. Higher elevation could see a little bit more snow. We're talking a couple of centimeters. It's really not going to be a substantial amount. I'll show you exactly what we saw as of midnight last night. This is going to be updated. So you're thinking, well, I got way more than 6 centimeters. I'm going to be talking to that in a minute. Brampton, 8 centimeters. Pearson recorded 11. Hamilton, 14. All right, if you're just about to head out and you're thinking, okay, what's the best route for me to take downtown today? Here's Rachel Schutzen with details on traffic.
Best route is going to be a work from home day kind of day today. We're giving you the day to just stay home. No, in all seriousness, you know, last night we did have a terrible drive out on the roads. This morning, the chaos is there. You can see the flashing lights here for you. That was when people thought, oh no, winter is finally here. Delays were huge last night. As of right now, yeah, probably a slow rush hour commute, but if you take it easy, I think things will be okay.
All right, and you know what? Rachel put her snow tires on in like August, so she was fully prepared.
I was.
She's like, I was. All right, today we have this snow tapering off. I don't have my snow tires on, by the way, Rachel. This is going to be tapering, but we've got northwesterly winds firing up, so we are going to be seeing a little bit of lake effect, a little bit of lake enhancement throughout the day tomorrow. So I wouldn't be surprised if the city of Toronto did pick up a few more centimeters. This cold front moving throughout the day on Saturday, and then we are left with a little bit of sunshine. Finally, something that we're not seeing a lot of in the GTA. Temperatures, however, are still going to remain very cold. We've got this cross-polar flow. Thank you so much, Siberia, for bringing us all of your cold air. It is holding on. The West, they saw their warm-up. They saw temperatures into the teens throughout parts of southern Alberta yesterday. Are we going to get that warmth? Doesn't look like it. This Arctic air wants to hold on, and we are seeing a lot of those dark blues and greens. The best we're going to get over the weekend is probably 2-3 degrees. Your local details will prove that next. Hi there, thank you for joining us. We are in Storm Watch. We have got snow and we have got cold temperatures to contend with today. Our developing stories, a messy mix for the GTA to continue your morning commute. Coming up in the brief, we have your presenters picks. I'll get it out eventually. We've got great video of the snow in Newfoundland. Our very own Nate Coleman was there getting whipped around. We'll talk about that. And today for the GTA, it's not the worst drive you've ever had probably, but it's the first bad drive of the year for many. The snow really tapering off throughout the GTA. We could see another couple of centimeters, but it's going to be wet snow. Temperatures are hovering around that freezing mark, so it will kind of be melting on your car as you're driving. But make sure you clean off your whole car. I have a truck and it took everything in my power to get on top of that and get the snow off, but I did for the safety of others. Some areas have picked up 14 centimeters of snow, and that, Rachel, on your car would not be fun to be driving in, especially for the driver behind you.
You got it. And this is what the roads are looking like this morning. You know, we're not seeing completely snow-covered roads, but wet and slushy out there. Flashing lights out here on the 401. But Emily, this is just the start. This is just one of the first bad commutes of the whole season to come.
And it's only middle of November, and we're seeing temperatures that reflect early to mid-December. It is so cold throughout the GTA. We're only going to be seeing daytime highs around 2 degrees for the city of Toronto, up through Markham and Newmarket. Oshawa only hitting 2, so we're staying cold with that polar air that's been filtering in through the lower Great Lakes. The precipitation is going to be tapering throughout the day today. We are going to see a little bit of mixing right along that lakeshore. Could pick up another couple of centimeters, and then throughout the day tomorrow, the lake effect engines fire up. We've got another cold front that's really just going to enhance things, so we could be seeing an additional 5 centimeters through the Dundalk Highlands, up through Orangeville and Newmarket. Vaughan even could be picking up a couple more centimeters. So once this cold front comes through, the lake effect engines fire up, and then for Sunday, they start to ease. Now, our next best chance to see more snow comes early next week. Yeah, I know. Saturday, there's that lake effect snow. Monday into Tuesday, we do have that chance, but it's going to be coming through the overnight. You can see it better on the Barrie forecast. Temperatures, as you can see, remaining very cold. Your 14-day trend is coming up right now. All right, thanks so much for that, Michelle Mackey, reporting on the situation for Toronto. I'm Emily Vukovic. Thanks for joining us. It's Friday. It is the 16th of November, and for many commuters, this is going to be your worst one of the year. Yeah, I say as of the year because it's just starting. It's only just begun. We are going to be seeing more snow throughout the day today, but as of midnight, downtown core picked up about 6 centimeters. Pearson is recording about 11. 14 centimeters through Hamilton, Brampton 8, Whitby 4. So it really depends on where you are and what you're waking up to this morning. 2 degrees is our daytime high for the city. We are going to be seeing the risk of some wet snow, some mixing, especially along the lakeshore. Could make for a pretty slick drive depending on where you are, but we're also seeing a lot of fog and a lot of mist this morning. So poor visibility in areas. Looks as though we are going to be seeing just maybe a dusting to a couple more centimeters before this system moves out. And then the lake effect engines are going to be firing up. We are going to be seeing snow along the shores of Huron and Georgian Bay today and into tomorrow with that cold front that's going to be passing through. A quick look at your winds, gusting up to about 40 kilometers an hour throughout the day tomorrow. We are going to be seeing sunshine for a minute, at least, throughout the day. This next system is going to be tracking its way off towards Atlantic Canada. We're going to see that wraparound, and that's where we're going to see that risk for some mixing and some lake effect snow firing up along the shores of Huron and Georgian Bay. So looking at our temperatures for tomorrow, staying cold. So that polar Arctic air doesn't want to go anywhere. It wants to stick around throughout the GTA. 2 degrees. With a bit of a rain-snow mix. Barrie seeing a high of -1. London, 2 degrees. And then the sunshine that I was talking about, looks like we're going to see a little peak of it. 1 degree is our daytime high. It's going to feel a lot colder when you factor in the wind. I know there are a ton of Santa Claus parades this weekend in Milton and in Hamilton. And of course, the Toronto Christmas market is on. So bundle up and head on down. Our Storm Watch coverage continues on this Friday. It is the 16th of November. I'm Emily Vukovic, and Rachel Schutzen's going to be joining me in just a moment. She's got an update on your traffic conditions today. We are going to be seeing the potential for a little bit more snow. We're talking a dusting to a couple of centimeters, pretty widespread throughout the GTA. We are going to see temperatures bump above that freezing mark, so some of the snow will be melting, some of it will be sticking around, mixing quite likely along the lakeshore. Toronto seeing a daytime high of 2 degrees, 2 up in Barrie, 2 up in Huntsville, and as of midnight last night, Pearson recorded about 11 centimeters of snow in through Hamilton, picked up 14, Kitchener at 10, Whitby only 4. So it really depends on where you are. Now, regardless, even if you saw 1 centimeter or 10 centimeters, your drive can be a little messy. Rachel?
Yeah, and you know, Emily, I think the big question right now this morning is what schools are canceled, what buses are canceled. So far, I haven't seen anything come in. I know Peel has a PA day today, so that worked out well for just people being off the roads, but so far I don't have anything to tell you in terms of school being canceled. Numbers have been out, things have been looking okay, but Emily, just a reminder to everyone, take it a little bit slower this morning. I was actually doing some research for another story I'm working on. When it comes to car accidents and weather, most happen on a Friday. So just a reminder, everybody slow down.
Interesting. I wonder if it's because people are in a rush to get to where they need to go because they're going to party or they want to get out of work quickly. I don't know. Interesting. Okay. Snowfall accumulations are going to be really light. This is additional snowfall, so we're talking trace amounts mixing quite likely along the lakeshore. Higher elevations could see a couple of more centimeters. Lake effect fires up throughout the day tomorrow with that passage of the cold front. That's just really going to intensify things. And then finally on Sunday, we may actually see a peak of sun. It's going to be a cold sun. A lot of places have Santa Claus parades this weekend. I know Milton has theirs. The Hamilton Santa Claus parade is this weekend. So if you are heading out, bundle up. Here comes our next system. This one's going to be impacting us Monday and into Tuesday. But because of all of that cold air from Siberia, thanks for that, Siberia, we are going to be into the deep freeze over the weekend, especially Saturday overnight and into Sunday. So if you do have plans to head out, winter jacket needed because we're going to see temperatures into the minus single digits, but it's going to feel a lot colder when you factor in that wind chill. Don't go anywhere. Our local forecast details, they start right now. It's Friday. It is the 16th of November. Our Storm Watch coverage continues for you in the GTA. We're going to be talking about our messy mix. That's what's happening during our commute. Rachel Schutzen's going to give us a traffic update. Presenters picks. That's what's coming up in the brief. You do not want to miss some of these funny videos that we're going to show you and some pretty intense ones as well. And dropping snow where? Well, you're going to have to stay tuned to find out. Satellite and radar. Nothing too incredibly impressive. We've got mixing along the lakeshore. We've got some rain moving in on the shores of Huron and Georgian Bay, and then we've got some snow in through the higher elevations. So we're looking at an additional dusting, possibly 1 to 2 centimeters throughout much of the GTA. Snowfall from last night, 14 centimeters fell in Hamilton. Clean off your car. I have a truck and I had to climb to the top of my vehicle this morning, Rachel, at like 3 a.m. So if I can do it, everybody can do it.
Emily, you didn't park in the garage? No garage space for you?
I don't get the garage. My husband gets the garage.
If you're waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning, you should get the garage. That should be the set in stone rule in your household. Let's take a look at the roads this morning. This is a live look at the Gardner. But other than that, I think the really bad commute, that was last night. Today, you can get to work on time. It is possible, and no school closures to report.
Oh, those poor kids. They were really counting on us today. Depending on where you live is really going to depend on if you see additional snowfall throughout the day today. The downtown core, anywhere along the lakeshore, we're looking at more so of a mixing. Temperature dependent as well. I mean, if you're climbing above that freezing mark, it looks as though you're going to see some mixing. But we do have the additional 1 to 2 centimeters coming down throughout the day today. And then lake effect engines are going to fire up. Northwest winds, we are going to be seeing a little bit of snow moving in through higher elevations throughout the day tomorrow. Goderich through Waterloo, up through Orangeville, in through the Dundalk Highlands, in through Barrie. So just be prepared if you do have any travel plans. If you're going to be driving along Highway 6 or the 400 tomorrow, things could get a little dicey. This cold front, it passes through. We're left with cloud cover throughout the day on Saturday. Chance of a few isolated flurries for the city of Toronto. And then finally on Sunday, it looks as though we are going to be seeing some much needed and well-deserved sunshine. It's not going to be a ton, but it's going to be there. And the temperatures, they are going to remain cold for the remainder of the week and into next. Hi there, good morning. Thanks for joining us here on The Brief. Chris Murphy, Nicole Karkic, and Emily Vukovic with you. On Fridays, we like to have a little fun. It's our presenters' picks, and we get to show you some really great video that we've had here at the Weather Network this week. Nicole, you're up first because I think your video is the most impactful.
Yes, we are going to go to Deer Lake. You know what? Nothing can stop this guy.
No, he is a real trooper. Like, he is like, Storm, where? I'm going. Put me on that flight.
And with a smile on his face, always.
The whole time. It's incredible. snow.
Well, we have another storm coming for you in Atlantic Canada. The winds will not be as bad with this. Less amounts in Nova Scotia because mixing there as well.
All right, Chris, your turn. What'd you pick?
All right, well, we're going to go out to beautiful Banff, Alberta. Kyle Britton. This is going to be a bit of snow and much colder temperatures today.
Yeah, like almost, it's going to feel like a 20-degree drop.
About a 20-degree drop in a lot of places in central and southern Alberta.
Yeah. All right, well, I picked this adorable video of kids seeing snow for the first time. These kids coming in from Africa, spending their first winter in Toronto, and look at the joy. I mean, when they wake up this morning and see, 6 to 10 centimeters on the ground, could you imagine how happy they're going to be? And their jackets that are too big for them, they're just so cute. Now, we've got a little bit more snow on the way for the GTA, but we're talking like trace amounts. Along the lakeshore, we are going to be seeing some mixing, but higher elevation, 2 to 5 centimeters for Orangevale, up through the Dundalk Highlands, 5 to 15. Now, keep in mind, this is also lake effect snow. We've got a cold front coming through. Those northwesterly winds are going to kick up, and then throughout the day tomorrow. But a lot of areas have snow, Santa Claus parades this weekend.
Yeah,
That's
Toronto,
good.
for example.
So let's
Santa Claus parade, what, in the world?
Yeah,
Let's
pretty
hope all the
much.
snow doesn't melt, so then therefore
Yeah.
it keeps you in the mood of things.
Yeah, in the mood.
The
I like
spirit
that.
of
The
things.
spirit of Christmas. If you'd like to connect with us, you can do so on Twitter @Weather Network. Stay with us. Good morning. Our Storm Watch coverage continues. I'm Emily Vukovic. It's Friday. It is the 16th of November. Rachel Schutzen is going to be joining us in a moment. She's got an update on your traffic conditions and some slow going in some areas. 2 degrees is our daytime high. We've got the potential to see a little bit more mixing. Yesterday we saw an awful drive home. The afternoon and evening commute were just an absolute mess, and we can thank all of the snow for that. 2 degrees is our daytime high through Barrie as well as in through Huntsville. About 6 centimeters recorded downtown. Pearson has picked up about 11 centimeters. Hamilton recording 14. Brush off your car today. I know it seems like, well, I've only got a couple of centimeters, but the driver behind you will appreciate it. Right, Rachel?
Absolutely. And I'm not here to bring any good news to the kids. No snow days to report, no bus cancellations. The roads have been cleared out and things are overall moving pretty okay. We do have a crash here on the Gardner ground, so if you haven't shoveled your driveway yet, Mother Nature's not going to do it for you.
What?
You melted all away.
You better call my husband and tell him that. He's probably counting on it. All right, so the additional snowfall, we are not going to be seeing a ton. I mean, we've got lake effect engines firing up throughout the day tomorrow, but for today, an additional 2 centimeters through higher elevation. But we could see some heavier snow throughout the day tomorrow. Areas along the shores of Huron, Georgian Bay, stretching as far south as Orangevale into Newmarket. Vaughan can potentially pick up a few more centimeters. And it's all thanks to those northwesterly winds and the passage of that cold front. So by Sunday, we should be seeing just a peak of sunshine. I know a lot of Santa Claus parades are happening. The Hamilton one's happening on Saturday afternoon. I know Milton has its parade. Toronto has its parade. So yes, I mean, we're kind of hoping that the snow sticks around to make it feel a little bit more festive. But last year, if you remember this time in Toronto, kids weren't even wearing their jackets for the Santa Claus parade. It was that mild. All right, we can thank this cross-polar flow, air from Siberia, that is giving us the deep freeze, and that's going to continue right into the weekend. We have temperatures hovering just around that freezing mark, and even as we get into next week, we are staying incredibly cold. Let's take a look at our 7-day forecast. 2 degrees for tomorrow, 1 for Sunday, 1 -3 on Tuesday. Our next best chance of seeing snow is going to be coming in kind of Monday and into Tuesday. Wednesday, we could see some light snow throughout the Oshawa area. It's Friday. It is the 16th of November. Thanks for joining us. I'm Emily Vukovic. We're looking at a messy mix for the GTA potentially throughout the day today, with rain, snow still coming down but tapering off. Presenters picks. You want to stay tuned for the brief. We've got some really fascinating video for you, including Nathan Coleman getting whipped around and jaw-dropping snow. You don't want to miss where that is. All right, your satellite and radar, we are looking at some very light snow moving in through the GTA and mixing right along that lakeshore. So some areas actually seeing just straight rain. That's going to be the case, giving us some wet roads. We've been dealing with the heavier snow up towards the north. Brampton's picked up 8 centimeters. Pearson has recorded 11. Hamilton, 14 centimeters of snow. Of course, all of this snow last night was a bit of a mess. We're going to check in with traffic right now with Rachel Schutzen.
Yeah, last night was not a good night to be out on the roads, and this morning we're not seeing that ice and snow buildup. The roads have been treated, the salters have been out, the plows have been out, but we're still looking at some issues here. But Emily, it looks cold and it looks snowy out there. Being behind the wheel this morning, I'm sure the heater is on full blast today.
Oh yeah, my seat heater, my vents, everything was on today, that's for sure. All right, 2 degrees is our daytime high, so it's staying quite cold. It's going to feel a little cooler than that when you factor in the winds. Those northwest winds are going to be kicking up some lake effect squalls throughout the day today and continuing throughout the day tomorrow. So keep that in mind. This precipitation from this system is going to track its way east, but then we're going to be left with that lake effect. You can see some of the bands showing up on this precipitation forecast, mostly along the shores of Huron and Georgian Bay, but they could stretch as far south as Waterloo and through Kitchener, over towards Orangeville, up through Uxbridge. This is going to be a bit of a story throughout the day tomorrow, but a lot of people are going to see the Santa Claus parade. So keeping the snow on the ground, I think, is a good thing to keep everybody festive. Cold front passing through, northwest winds fire up. We are going to see those lake effect bands moving through, potentially through the GTA, but we're talking flurries at best downtown. And then Sunday, we might just see a little tiny bit of sunshine, just a touch. All right, we are going to be seeing a daytime high of 2 tomorrow. There's that light snow, potentially some mixing, feeling more like -1. And then look at our forecast into next week. We do have the potential to see some snow Monday into Tuesday, but feeling more like -5 on Tuesday. Your 14-day trend, will we warm up? Details coming up in your locals. All right, thanks so much. Michelle Mackey live in Hamilton this morning. And I know some kids, Rachel, we were talking about had a PA day today, the Peel kids.
Yeah, kids in Peel.
In Toronto as well, too? Was Charlene just telling us that?
I don't think in Toronto today, but at least alleviating some of the people in the Mississauga region, for example, that are all out on the roads, on the QEW, parents trying to get kids to school. But I did see that up in the Kawartha region, schools have been canceled, buses have been canceled. So at least one group of kids, we can say school is canceled for you on this Friday. All
right, well, our conditions today, I mean, they're improving, but they're not going to be great. We do have that potential for a rain-snow mix. Downtown Toronto seeing a daytime high of 2 today. Markham 2 degrees, Newmarket 2, seeing a little bit of mist and fog on the roads. Rachel, what's the worst thing that you're looking at right now?
Yeah, let's take a look at the Gardner right.
Absolutely. The OPP reporting over 340 accidents in the span of 4 hours through the Toronto area core. That's a lot. So still, give yourself some extra travel time today. If you are going to be traveling along the lakeshore, that's a better commute than the 401 or the 407, that's for sure, because we're seeing a little bit of mixing. It's not straight snow. Temperatures are just a little bit milder. We are going to be seeing a little bit of lake effect throughout the day tomorrow, with those winds shifting to more of a northwesterly direction, winds gusting up to about 40 to 50 kilometers an hour throughout the day. And then we've got our next system tracking off to the east, and we've got those lake effect engines firing up throughout the day tomorrow for higher elevations. Good morning. Your Weather Watch continues. It's Friday. It is the 16th of November. Emily Vukovic and Rachel Stutson joining the program today.
Yeah, I'm happy to bring in the snow. You know, Emily, yesterday the Toronto Christmas Market opened. Lots of Santa Claus parades happening this weekend. So I think the snow is right on cue.
I think you should be the spokesperson for the Toronto Christmas Market. I do. And you know what? I think Michelle Mackey should actually join you, because between the two of you, Christmas explodes. And Michelle, she's loving the snow. I mean, she was out last night loving it. She's out there today loving it. Michelle, how's that 14-centimeter treating you?
You know what? I gotta say, it is a winter wonderland in Hamilton today. Another issue, all of the leaves that are still on the trees being weighed down by the snow. One of the many problems today in Southern Ontario.
Do you want to tell her that that's not a tree, or should I?
It's okay. She probably realizes we say things on live TV all the time, and then we think, yeah, that's not a tree. It's okay, Michelle.
It's all right.
Friday. It's
okay.
Friday.
We get it. We get it. Thank you, Michelle. All right, Rachel, what's going on with traffic?
Yeah, you know, the roads last night were absolutely awful. This morning, at least a lot of them have been cleared.
Some good advice. Thanks, Rachel. 2 degrees is our daytime high, but feeling more like -3. So you're still going to want to bundle the kids up in their snowsuits today, because it's going to be wet. It's going to be slushy. It's going to be messy. 2 degrees for Toronto, 2 up in Barrie. We're looking at 2 through Huntsville. Again, that mixing potential is there. Updated, Toronto 11 centimeters. This is at Pearson. Markham at 9. Hamilton still sitting at 14 centimeters. A dusting of snow still on the way, potentially up to 2 centimeters. And we've got lake effect kicking it up tomorrow. Your local details start right now.
Prime packing snow, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. This is good snowball making snow. This is good snowman making snow. Now, I've got to say, because Emily told me earlier, Emily Vukovic, that she wanted a snowman. I don't think it's going to happen. I'm not that skilled, but a snowball, I can do that. Look out, Nate, camera guy. I'm coming for you.
Okay, so before she left, I said, Michelle, I want a snowman, and it doesn't even have to be a big one. I just want like a little guy.
A little one.
Yeah.
You know, Kevin Yard used to make little tiny snowmen all the time.
Exactly.
They were like this big. He had
Yeah.
to scrape all the snow he could, find it all. Like we're talking just a dusting, and he would still come up with a little tiny snowman.
So I'm expecting the same. But then I said, what about a snow angel? And she was like, I can do a snow angel. So Michelle, if you're listening, I'm still expecting a snow angel. Thanks for joining us. Emily and Rachel with you. The developing stories that we're talking about, messy mix for the GTA.
Yeah, the roads yesterday, that was really the nightmare drive. Last night, people said, Emily, getting home usually takes 20 minutes. Yesterday, it took them over 3 hours.
Ew.
It was painfully slow. Now, why was that? Well, that's because we did see that thin layer of ice form on the roads and then snow on top of that. So that just creates chaos out on the roads at that time. What we're looking at this morning is sort of that mixing, those misty conditions moving through.
Good advice. Very true. 11 centimeters, that's what we've picked up so far at Pearson, 9 through Markham, 14 through Hamilton. Trenton has picked up 11. It is going to continue, but it's not going to be as heavy. It's really just going to be a dusting for much of the GTA, possibly an additional 2 centimeters of snow, but for the most part, it's not going to be a ton. We are going to see temperatures just hovering above that freezing mark, so a lot of mixing right along the lakeshore as the system snow really tapers off. And as you can see, the lake effect comes in behind. So we've got northwesterly winds shifting with that cold front. And we could be dealing with some fairly decent bands coming off the shores of Huron and Georgian Bay throughout the day tomorrow. A lot of communities throughout the GTA have their Santa Claus parades tomorrow. So having a little bit of snow on the ground, I think will keep everybody in the festive mood. But temperatures, bundle up. They are going to be cold.
Mark, which means the snow is melting, it's wet, it's heavy, it's slushy. Not good news for shoveling, but great news if you want to build a snowman. Now, in our last segment, Rachel and Emily suggested that I make a snowman. And when I said I wasn't going to do that, they gave me a little bit of trouble. So, ladies, I'd like to introduce you to our new Weather Network mascot. We don't have a name yet, but Snowman, do you have any messages that we could send back to our hosts? Are you enjoying winter? Okay, we're not getting much, unfortunately, from this guy, but what I could use from you, some help naming him. What do you think?
For one, you're getting the cold shoulder. I can't take that as my joke. No, I can't think of any names right off the
He
bat.
needs a small name like Earl.
Oh, Earl is good.
Or like Pete. Earl
is
or
good.
Pete.
Yeah.
Something like cute, short, small.
Because he's little.
Because he is tiny.
All right, thank you, Michelle. We appreciate your snowman efforts. Today, we're going to see a daytime high of 2 degrees. It is going to be mixing. We're seeing some coming down on the radar right now, making a bit of a mess for traffic.
Yeah, last night was the disaster commute. This morning, a little bit of that disaster has spilled over into today. Today, the roads are wet and things are slippery out there.
All right, that is very good advice. 2 degrees is our daytime high with a rain-snow mix. Barrie getting up to 2, Huntsville 2 degrees. The snow summary, some areas, like Michelle was mentioning, Hamilton, 14 centimeters of snow, 10 in Kitchener. Markham picked up 9, Toronto, 11 centimeters, same as Trenton, and a little bit more on the way. We do have the potential for a little bit of mixing, looking at it on the radar right now, a little bit of light snow for the GTA. That is going to continue for the better part of your morning commute. Then it's going to ease. We'll get a bit of a break, and then the lake effect is going to set up throughout the day tomorrow. We've got northwesterly winds. The system snow is going to be moving off to our east, and we're going to be left with this cold front passing through and the lake effect bands firing up along the shores of Huron and Georgian Bay. Now, by Sunday, looks as though we should be seeing some sunshine, but it is going to be so cold. If you're going to the Santa Claus parade, you're going to want to bundle up anywhere this weekend. I know Milton has it, and so does Hamilton, so dress you and the kids really warm. Thank you so much for joining us. It's Friday. It is the 16th of November. Emily Vukovic and a surprise guest, Rachel Schutzen, joining the program again today. We brought her in because traffic has been an absolute nightmare, and I'm going to be totally honest with you. I'm awful at working with traffic cameras, so I needed Rachel's support.
I decided to come back. And
She's helping.
Emily, were you even a little bit excited seeing the snowfall yesterday? A little? A little bit?
My name is Emily. Nice to meet you. I'm going to go with a hard no. No, I'm just kidding. My kids were so excited, Rachel. It was really cute. Like Brooklyn and Hunter, they were just like jumping up and down. They were like, Mommy, let's go play in the snow. And I was like, oh no, it's almost bedtime.
And every time I looked out the window, it was snowing yesterday. It just kept coming down and down and down. So Michelle, I know you have the update on what it's looking like on the outside. A beautiful winter wonderland. How much snow fell in Hamilton through this event?
Rachel, Emily, we picked up 14 centimeters of snow. Now, one of the fun things about this event, though, Emily was mentioning her kids having a lot of fun. Well, so have I, because I delivered on a challenge to build a snowman, and here he is. I'm calling him a him. I think it's a he. Have you decided on any names yet, though? I can't think.
Yeah.
I like your name,
Yeah,
Earl.
we're going with Earl.
Earl.
Michelle, it's Earl.
Earl the snowman.
Okay.
Easy. Easy sell. You can follow him on Instagram and on Twitter today.
At Earl TWN. No, just kidding. Don't check that out. I don't know what you're going to find. We are not responsible. Today we're going to see some mixing. We've got the daytime high of 2 degrees, so milder conditions, but causing the roads to be really wet.
Yeah, I think last night's commute, that was the really terrible commute. Today, it's just wet and it is slick. So this is a look at the 410, and some of those flurries, Emily, still coming down this morning.
Yeah, that's going to be the trend. We've got this precipitation. It will be moving out, but then we've got lake effect coming in behind it throughout the day tomorrow. So a few flurries this morning, a few, well, it's going to be kind of a messy mix along the lakeshore, and then areas further to the north, we could see a couple additional centimeters. So it's not going to be a huge deal. Last night, way worse. Cold front moving through, lake effect engines start up throughout the day on Saturday. By Sunday, it looks as though we are going to be seeing a little bit more sunshine. Santa Claus parade's happening this weekend. We are going to be seeing cold temperatures, however, on Saturday, only 2 degrees, so make sure you bundle up.
Yeah, it's all good.
And that hat is awesome. Let's not forget that. I'm Emily Vukovic. Thank you so much for joining us. It's Friday. It is November the 16th. And yeah, grab a shovel. Help out your neighbor. I mean, some areas got some decent amounts of snow. For us in the downtown core, we're starting to see another shot of snow moving through. It's going to be kind of on and off flurries throughout the day today. Wet snow down towards the lakeshore, more of a rain-snow mix. 2 degrees, feeling more like -3. So still dress the kids for -3 if you're heading them, if they're off to school today, heading off to work. Make sure you're dressed appropriately for the weather. Put your winter boots on today because it is slushy downtown. Barrie at 2 degrees, Huntsville at 2. We are going to be seeing more lake effect, and I'll talk about that in just a moment. But first, let's go back and look at some of our totals from yesterday through the overnight and this morning. This is as of 6 a.m. 14 centimeters through Hamilton, Toronto. This is at Pearson, 11. Markham, 9 centimeters. Trenton picked up 11, up through Wyerton, 9 centimeters. So it really depends on where you are. Dr. Doug Gillen was telling me he's picked up about 11 centimeters through Milton. Chris Murphy was telling me 10 centimeters in Burlington. So again, it's similar but different in some areas. This snow is going to be tapering off throughout the better part of the day, and then we are going to be seeing our wind shift to more of a northwesterly direction, and that is going to be bringing in a little bit of lake effect. So we're going to see some bands off of Huron and Georgian Bay throughout the day tomorrow. Some of them may be strong enough to reach the downtown core. May see a few flurries. This is good news for the Santa Claus parades that are happening this weekend. Of course, and the Toronto Christmas market is open. It opened on Thursday, so this is going to be a really busy weekend down towards the Distillery District. I know the Hamilton Santa Claus parade is tomorrow evening, so hopefully some of that snow sticks around, makes you feel a little bit more festive. Bands coming off of Huron and Georgian Bay, a little bit of mixing potential as well, with temperatures just hovering around that freezing mark. And then this is our next system. We're keeping a close eye on this because it doesn't look like it's going to be bringing us too much of anything, but Monday overnight and into Tuesday, we may see some light snow. We're cold because of this, the cross-polar flow. We can actually thank Siberia for all of the cold air that's filtering in throughout the GTA this weekend. Temperatures will stay cold, but we may see some sunshine by Sunday. All right, thanks so much for that, Michelle. Yeah, it's only November 16th. That's a lot of snow for this time of year. I'm Emily Vukovic. We've got a messy mix for the GTAs. Michelle was just pointing out Hamilton, 14 centimeters of heavy wet snow. Presenters picks. Make sure you stay tuned for our brief. We have some really spectacular video. I have one video of kids experiencing snow for the first time, and it is absolutely adorable. You don't want to miss it. Okay, speaking of cute videos, I might as well just show you one right now. Kids and dogs in snow are amazing. They really are. So if you want to send your stuff in just like that, hashtag share your weather, and you never know. You might play it in the morning show. Okay, the snow. I mean, I was looking at the radar earlier, and a lot of what's happening along the lakeshore is rain or mixing. Anywhere north of that, kind of 401, 407, that's where you're seeing that snow. So I wouldn't be surprised if we did pick up an additional 1 or 2 centimeters through areas further north, but down towards the south, I think it is going to stay kind of that slushy mix. Okay, so 11 centimeters for the city of Toronto. That's what we've picked up, but again, that could go up a couple of centimeters. 14 in Hamilton, 9 through Markham. This afternoon, temperature is going to be hitting around 2 degrees. There's that messy mix potential. So if we're at the freezing mark, it's going to be falling as snow, but if it's any warmer than that, that's where we're going to get that mixing. And you're probably stepping outside today and thinking, oh, it's kind of mild. Foggy and misty start to the day as well, because of that melting snow. The snow is going to be tapering off for the better part of today. Could see, scattered flurries here and there, but lake effect, that's what's going to be firing up throughout the day tomorrow along the shores of Huron and Georgian Bay. So some of those bands might be strong enough to make it into the GTA. There is, if you do see the snow, that's good news if you are going to a Santa Claus parade this weekend. I know a lot of communities are having them tomorrow and on Sunday. Cloud cover for most of the day on Saturday with scattered flurries, and then we may see a peak of sunshine finally by Sunday. But temperatures, they're going to stay cold. We're only looking at 2 degrees tomorrow, 1 for Sunday, 1 for Monday, and then look at Tuesday. That's like normal daytime high for January. Yeah, I know. Stay tuned. Your locals are now. Your Weather Watch continues on this Friday. It is the 16th of November. I'm Emily Vukovic, and meteorologist Dr. Doug is going to be joining me in just a few moments. He's really going to break down kind of after what's going to happen after our weekend. Do we warm up? He's going to have that answer with all this Arctic air filtering in. Today is not the day we warm up. We're only going to be 2 degrees. Now, last night and through the overnight and this morning, it was a tricky commute for a lot of people. Pearson recorded 11 centimeters of snow. Downtown Hamilton picked up 14. Milton, you picked up about 11 centimeters of snow. Burlington, 10 centimeters. So a very slushy, wet mix this morning. The roads have been pretty good so far, but we are going to be seeing an additional swath of snow move in throughout the day today. It's not going to be a ton. We're looking at trace to 2 centimeters, and then lake effect and the cold front are going to be giving places in through higher elevations of Goderich, Kincardine, Dundalk Highlands, all the way down to Orangeville, a couple of more centimeters throughout the day tomorrow. We are going to be seeing this system track its way off towards Atlantic Canada, and as you can see, there's our mixing potential. There's our lake effect with those northwesterly winds. Okay, what's happening beyond the weekend? Let's bring in Dr. Doug. I just want to warm up, Doug. That's all. I just want us to feel the heat that the prairies have been feeling. I mean, Calgary was into like mid-teens yesterday.
Well, we're not going to get that warm for a while, but we are going to warm up later next week.
Okay.
But in the meantime, December-like temperatures continue. So we have that reinforcing shot of cold air that comes in late Saturday. So by Sunday, temperatures struggling to climb above 0, and a cold start to next week. Only -2 in Barrie, +1 in Toronto. And during the afternoon and evening, another cold front will track through the region. Clipper, and this will give us a period of snow, potentially poorly timed for the evening rush, but only a centimeter or 2. And then another clipper tracks to our north on Wednesday. That'll give us some gusty winds. But let's look at the details. Tuesday, the coldest day of the season thus far. You know, these temperatures are seasonal for January.
Whoa.
-6 in Barrie, -3 in Toronto.
Oh, well, you know what? It is keeping us tough, that's for sure. A little bit of sunshine expected as well. A little bit of sunshine expected on Wednesday, and temperatures bump up slightly.
Yeah, here we go with our gradual warm up.
This is your good news.
Right. And some good news, no major storms next week.
Okay.
But as we go each day, we gain a couple degrees. Note some sunshine.
Yep.
And by Friday,
Okay.
we may be a degree above seasonal. How exciting is that? 5 in Toronto, 6 degrees in Oakville. And as we look at the big picture across the country, we note that across southern Canada, we don't have any Arctic air.
No.
So we're going to have a few days of milder weather, but there is some Arctic air. And by the time before December 1st,
Yeah.
we're going to be back into a familiar pattern. This is the pattern for the first 10 days of December.
All right, staying cold. Thank you so much for joining us. It's Friday. It is the 16th of November. Emily Vukovic and a surprise guest, Rachel Schutzen, joining the program again today. We brought her in because traffic has been an absolute nightmare, and I'm going to be totally honest with you. I'm awful at working with traffic cameras, so I needed Rachel's support.
I decided to come back. And
She's helping.
Emily, were you even a little bit excited seeing the snowfall yesterday? A little? A little bit?
My name is Emily.
Hi, great to meet you.
I'm going to go with a hard no. No, I'm just kidding. My kids were so excited,
I
Rachel. It was
know.
really cute.
I
Like
know.
Brooklyn and Hunter, they were just like jumping up and down. They were
That's
like, Mommy,
awesome.
let's go play in the snow. And I was like, oh no, it's almost bedtime. We
Yeah,
can't.
and every time I looked out the window, it was snowing yesterday. It just kept coming down and down and
Yeah.
down. So, Michelle, I know you have the update on what it's looking like on the outside. A beautiful winter wonderland. How much snow fell in Hamilton through this event?